Strong way to say it is we're cursing our future. You can curse your future or you can bless your future.
You are a wealthy person.
Yes.
Where are the Bentleys, the yachts, and the jets?
God was saying, I am everything, because I am. Right. Now, mine is a different take on it.
At one point, Joel Osteen built one of the most powerful religious empires in America. A 16,000-seat arena, millions of viewers, best-selling books, a church so massive it looked more like a concert than a Sunday service. Then came the scandals. The Hurricane Harvey backlash, the hidden cash found inside church walls, former members speaking out, empty seats spreading across the arena. And suddenly people started asking a dangerous question. Was Lakewood Church ever built on faith, or was it built on spectacle?
Shalom. First, I'll start by giving all great honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to teachers, elders, and apostles of great millstone, likewise, brothers, put out this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding sheep and do brothers and sisters. Bringing Shalom. Today's lesson's title: They are for profit and are not prophets. Now, you saw the ending clip there, the ending part of that clip, where they say, is it for spectacle? Yes, of course it's for spectacle. Okay, what else would they invest $100 million into, a former NBA basketball stadium out there in South Texas, to turn into this super mega church, with all of the, big giant screens and, restaurant and cafe. I'm going to show you all of this in the clip here, and I'm going to show you how this mirrors with what we see with certain Hebrew Israelite group, okay, the one that they would define as the biggest and largest one, okay, that is mimicking what they see in these mega churches doing. Let's just call it what it is, okay. You can tell, okay, these guys are doing the exact same thing, and we brought it out. You've had elders and apostles and the likewise brothers bringing out, okay, against how the Lord, Yahweh Shai, did not set up, okay, prophets, okay, being from the Yasharala, okay, so-called blacks and Americans and Latinos and Hispanics, okay, to mimic, okay, these heathens, okay. This is what they do, okay. Let's go into the book of Matthew 21, starting verse 10, it reads, And when he was come into Jerusalem, all the city was moved, saying, Who is this? And the multitude said, This is Yahushai, the prophet of Nazareth of Galilee. And Yahushua went into the temple of power and cast all of them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves, and said unto them, It is written, My house shall be called a house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. And here it is, you have these opportunists, okay? Let's call them out. IUIC, opportunists. Now, there's no irrefutable proof that they've taken a buy because nobody's actually seen it. But come on, their action speaks louder than them denying it, and they're not even denying it in reality. Okay, and they have the 503. Nonprofit, they're globetrotting, they're doing it. Take a look at it. They're doing exactly the same thing these mega church pastors are doing, okay? Stealing from their dumb, silly audience that don't know any better because they're looking to be what? Entertain. In fact, this is Ecclesiastes 7 and 4 before I show you some more videos here. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. These people are fools. They're fools, okay? They're all fools. Those that follow the IUIC group are fools because they like to be in the house of mirth. And IUIC like to deliver that, okay? Check this out from IUIC and then take a look at Joel Osteen.
Before Joel Osteen became America's most famous pastor, he stayed behind the cameras. Most people don't know that.
My father was a preacher, and I worked behind the scenes for him, and I didn't want to preach. I didn't want to get out in front of people because I didn't think it was in me.
In the 1980s and 90s, while his father, John Osteen, preached from the stage, Joel worked quietly in television production. He edited sermons, managed broadcasts, avoided the spotlight completely. In fact, for years he refused to preach. Then everything changed almost overnight. In 1999, just days after Joel finally delivered his first sermon, John Osteen suddenly died from a heart attack. The church was shocked. The empire suddenly had no leader. And somehow, the quiet man behind the cameras inherited one of the largest churches in America. At first, many people doubted him. Joel didn't sound like traditional pastors. He rarely talked about sin, rarely mentioned hell, rarely preached hard sacrifice or judgment. His sermons sounded softer, simpler, more hopeful.
This is the book of John 2 and verse 12, and it reads, After this he went down to Capernaum, he and his mother and his brethren and his disciples, and they continued there not many days. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem, and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the changes of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changes money, and overthrew the tables, and said unto them that sold doves, Take these things hence, make not my Father's house a house of merchandise. So clearly Joel Osteen, is not a Hebrew Israelite. He's not a Jake. You look closely at him like that, you can see he's a member of the small hats. Look at that nose. All right. And they talk about how he stepped from behind the scene and basically took over. Young, impressive. And notice what they said. They said he never talked about judgments. He was not a typical pastor, because he's not a man of the Lord. He's not a man of the Lord at all. This is a business. Likewise, when you look at certain Hebrew Israelite group, the purple guys, what they have done, they made merchandise of things like that. You don't believe it? Take a look at this. This is merchandising. This is merchandising what they've done. So they've been chartered, which is basically is that you can sell. You have to do community service, which is what Joel Osteen was doing. Now the one thing that they accuse him of is that, when the hurricane was down there, that he didn't open up the church, and this is what caused a lot of people to look at him like, what's up with that? Well, when we're in need, you're not there. What happened to all those millions of dollars? You have your private island, the private jets, the private, the big mansions, all of those things. We've taken care of you, but now it's our turn. You're not taking care of us, because he's not, for their profit. He's not a prophet of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. He is for profit, money. And the most gullible people you can always target are going to be people, who are looking at false doctrine, as their guide or as their guidance in life. This is why these churches do so well. You're brainwashed from a child to go and take your money and put it into some collection plate because some dude can stand up there, and entertain you, basically. And that's what it's all about. So you have the contrast right there. You're taking a look, and you can see that our people, they take it to the next level, and they oppress the poor, people that look like them, who are gullible and stupid. Because our people want to be entertained. That's what it comes down to. They don't want to see men dressed in sackcloth, that preach about judgment, the anger of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai upon this wicked queendom called Great Babylon America. That the so-called white man is going to go into slavery, that he's wicked, he is the devil the Bible speaks of. No. This is the reason why, and we're going to go into that next. When you go into the book of Jeremiah, 23, start verse 20. It reads, The anger of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai shall not return until he has executed, till he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it perfectly. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. But if they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my word, then they would have turned them from their evil way and from the evil of their doing. So see, they're not doing that. Joel Osteen Church was not set up to do that. It was set up for profit.
Then came the move that changed everything. In 2005, Lakewood Church moved into the former Houston Rockets arena after a massive renovation costing nearly $100 million. Overnight, the church became larger than life itself. A basketball stadium had become a sanctuary. And that image mattered, because the giant arena sent a message without saying a word. This wasn't just a church anymore. This was success. But behind all the lights and applause, another church across America had already discovered a terrifying warning sign, one that predicted exactly what would happen next, and almost nobody listened. In 2007, leaders at Willow Creek Community Church released a study that sent shockwaves through the megachurch world. Most people never heard about it, but inside church leadership circles, the report felt dangerous. It was called the Reveal Study, and its conclusion was simple but devastating. The longer people stayed inside these massive churches, the less spiritually connected many of them actually became. Not stronger, not deeper, not more committed, less.
For years, megachurches had measured success through numbers. Bigger crowds meant bigger impact. More campuses meant more lives changed. Packed auditoriums became proof that God was moving. But the study suggested something uncomfortable. What if the crowds were growing while the people were staying spiritually shallow? At first, many church leaders ignored the warning. Why wouldn't they? The megachurch boom was exploding across America. Every weekend felt like an event. Coffee shops inside church lobbies, concert-level worship bands, giant screens hanging from ceilings.
The same thing with these doggone guys in the purple. Okay? They have people calling the incorrect name. Okay? They're making likeness of everything.
And you will be surprised how many emails that we get. One group's telling me, brother, you're going to be destroyed if you don't say you hey wild hey. Another group says you're going to be destroyed if you don't say Yahweh. Another group sending me emails, you're going to be destroyed if you don't say Fasolati do. Another group sent me an email, you're going to be destroyed if you don't say Ahaya, Ashaya, Ahaya. Brother, all these different camps have written us and said we are going to be destroyed if we don't pronounce the name of the Most High the way their camp does.
They're making it like Jacob's trouble has already existed. Hell is totally different. The mark of the beast is different. Let's continue on here because it describes them. This describes them. It says, "Am I a power at hand?" said the Lord Yahweh Shai, "and not a power afar off? Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him?" said the Lord Yahweh Shai. "Do not I fill heaven and earth?" said the Lord Yahweh Shai. I said, meaning what? He can see everything. He knows everything. He knows what you're thinking. He gives you a dream. He basically programs you what you're going to do the next day. Okay? And you don't even know that. He controls everything. It says, "I have heard what the prophet said. The prophesy lie in my name, saying, I have dreamed. I have a dream. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart." Meaning what? They're exalting themselves. We can travel. We get X amount of money coming into us. Our subscriber level is high. We get a lot of likes. Okay. They're trying to mimic, their oppressor. Okay. And Joel Osteen is an oppressor. Okay. He's a member of the oppressor. He's an Edomite. All right. And they're trying to mimic it. Okay. And basically, the picture I put up there, basically I just type in a couple words in like that, and I was able to get, an AI came up with IUIC. I didn't even put IUIC name in like that. Because why? Even AI knows they're full of shit. All right, continuing, it says, "Which thing to cause my people to forget my name." They're mentioning Jesus. They ain't saying Yahweh Shai. Okay, Most High in Christ. Come on, niggas. Come on. It says, "Which thing to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgot my name for Baal." See? Okay, calling on a false deity. And Jesus isn't even a deity, power. It's a pain of a faggot. Okay? Continue, it says, "The prophet that had a dream, let him tell a dream. And he that had my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat, said the Lord Yahweh Shai." So who speaks the word faithfully? Okay? The men that you see out there on the highway and byway, sign and crying on this unicorn, sign and crying. What? Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay? If you're not saying that, you're not exalting the Lord Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. You're not exalting Yahweh Shai. Okay? The Father and the Son. Continue, says, is not my word like us a fire, said the Lord Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, said the Lord Yahweh Bahashem, Shai, that steal my words, every one from his neighbor. So they twist it around. They twist it around. I believe the leader of IUIC used to be in the same one west out there with Apostle Taha and Gaban, all the rest of them like that. But they remain faithful to Yahweh Bahashem, Shai, while he just decided that he would mimic these Edomites, okay, to try to get himself exalted, you know, and that shows insecurity. You're not a king, dude. You're an insecure, freaking scrawny little old fucking man. And basically that's what it comes down to. All right? Continue, says, behold, I am against the prophets, said the Lord Yahweh Shai, that use their tongues and say, he said. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, said the Lord Yahweh Shai, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies and by their lightness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore they shall not profit this people at all, said the Lord Yahweh Shai. Who are they going to profit? Their own pockets. Okay? They're going to profit their own pockets. But that's not going to last so long, in fact. And you know why Joel Osteen church is going down also too? Take a look at the current state right now. And IUIC, okay, and I'm going to use them instead of One Body, because them niggas ain't shit. I'm talking about IUIC, the ones that recognize, and when you have complaints from the Hebrew Israelites, okay, those who are not in the truth, those who are just coming up and basically mocking, they always described who? The guys in the purple with the friggin' bullhorn, annoying the shit out of everybody. Okay? Because they're trying to recruit with their flyers and trying to get more people means what? More collection, more money coming in. Okay? These do-gooder shows that they put on, you know, handing out whatever the hell they hand out, turkey or whatever cases like that. That's a pony show. Typical of what these doggone mega churches do. And Joel Osteen was very good at that, except when he was tested to see exactly how he feel about his audience, this little fucking cracker couldn't friggin' doggone, he didn't step up to the plate. And so now his church is emptying out. But what's really taking place here right now? These people are oppressed and depressed right now. They're getting ready, okay, to go up against their king. Because right now, let's close over to Isaiah 24. And so our sentence says, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There's crying for wine in the streets, all joy is dark, and the mirth of the land is gone. In the city is left desolation, the gate is smitten with destruction. No jobs, people are depressed, you have an epidemic of drugs, okay? Basically, Deuteronomy 30 is up upon these doggone Edomites. When you look at Joel Osteen Church, it was full of doggone Edomites. Yeah, Jacobs was sprinkled inside there too, so-called blacks, because they like to be entertained. Big, you know, what is it, you know, you know, they get the cameras and the friggin' the big giant screens up there, like the size of doggone, you know, a whole room, you know, and who wouldn't get into that? Okay. And what you will notice, okay, what it talked about, okay, is that that study that they did shows that the people, okay, became more enveloped in the entertainment aspect of these mega churches and these churches. This is the reason why, and I've had it happen to me a couple of times when I've gone out there with people like, if I'm IUIC or whatever cases like that, which I don't belong to any group, okay? But what they're looking for is they're looking for a sort of an entertainment. IUIC represents the entertainment group of the Hebrew Israelite, or what they like to term as the black Hebrew Israelites out there. Okay, they throw the big party, the rap shows, you know, they have churches in almost every state and across the earth, you know, they you know, globe-trotting, all those things like that, the same with these mega church. Okay, so Jake's them knowing that the Hebrew Israelite and okay, we're special people like that somewhat, but they want that entertainment aspect of it. So men that are going to do it the way Yahweh Shai did it, okay, which is plain on table, simple, to the point, they're not interested in that. We're boring. They're bored of it. They want continuously have that entertainment show. Well, let's see if IUIC is going to come to the rescue. Okay, when the Lord Yahweh Shai put the spirit, okay, in this wicked cracker government to bring the hammer down on our people. Because just like Genesis 27:41 said, Esau is coming to kill so-called blacks and Americans, Latinos, and Hispanic. Because you're a Hebrew Israelite. And if you don't believe it, too bad for you. But they are for profit and are not prophets. Lord willing, the elect of the Father, close by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Shalom.